This is He Knows His Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. All right, Shakur Stevenson. I like the kid, man. He's good. He has an October 26th fight with Yohet Gonzalez. Let me say it again. He has an October 26th fight with Yohet Gonzalez. That's what he needs to focus on, man. He needs to keep his focus on that fight. This is not just a lay down fight. This is not just a tune-up fight. You know what I'm saying? This is a guy that's coming for him. So he's going to have to step up, and show out. All of this coming after Bob Arum, coming after Al Heyman, coming after Oscar De La Hoya. Come on, kid. You should already know all of these promoters and advisors, all of them run boxing. So there's nothing that you can do or nothing that you could say, especially as a young fighter that hasn't proven anything, that's going to basically move or move the thumb or of the needle, or basically going to change anything. This is the landscape of boxing for what it is. This is why I try to tell classic those in troglodytes. Boxing has the fans' favorites and what we want as fans in terms of boxing, but it has the politics side of it, the financial side of it. And if you're going to want to be in this sport, you have to be willing to accept both. Let me say it again, because this needs to marinate in the corpus callosum and in the cerebellum. Hear me and hear me well. If you're going to enjoy boxing, you have to enjoy all sides of the angle of boxing. You have to enjoy the fan, you know what I'm saying, best fighting, the best approach of boxing. You have to also appreciate the politics and the financial side of boxing, because the politics and the financial side of boxing is what brings us to the actual fights. And until those things get ironed out, fights don't happen. So Shakur Stevenson, you should have listened to the people that were around you. You should have listened to your camp. You know what I'm saying? And if they were advising you wrong, then you should have gotten the right camp and listened to the right people. Obviously, you haven't made the right moves because you've gone the top rank route. So you, of all people, need to higgity fucking hush. Let me say it again. You need to higgity fucking hush. So the title of today is Shakur Stevenson needs to go sit down somewhere and higgity fucking hush and just box. You were top rank. That's who you signed with. I get it. You know what I'm saying? You want to be a boxing superstar, but you're not going to be a boxing superstar with your mouth and being at top rank. Not when they're promoting Vasily Lomachenko, Tyson Fury, and these folks. That's not going to happen that way. You're only going to be a boxing superstar if you're in a, what we would say, stable or company that's going to value you and bring you up. The PBC model would have brought you up a lot better. But Andre Ward and Jay Prince, you know what I'm saying, your manager felt that the top rank route made more sense for you. And you decided to go that way because you looked at Bob Arum's, you know what I'm saying, history, long history of having so many big fighters. Yes, he's had that. No one can take that away from Bob Arum. But you have to look at the totality of things. See, this is the problem with people. They only look on the surface. They don't look beneath the layers. Let me say it again. That's the problem with people. They look on the surface. They don't look beneath the layers. You have to be a three-dimensional thinker to be able to look beneath the layers. Because once you look beneath the layers, you'll be able to peel it like an onion to see what's going on. And if you would have took the time out to do that, instead of sitting there having that haterisms and trollisms for Floyd Money Mayweather, because he could say what he wants, Mayweather would have promoted him differently. Now, I don't agree with all of Mayweather's tactics and all of this stuff, but I believe Mayweather would have moved him differently. You know what I'm saying? But he decided not to go that route. And if you didn't want to go the Mayweather Promotions route, you could have just been strictly under the advisement of Al Heyman, like Road to True Spence and all of these other people that's only strictly under Al Heyman and being advised by him. They're not under Mayweather Promotions. And you guys would have seen how Al Heyman would have moved Shakur Stevenson strategically. People can say what they want about Al Heyman, but you got to do your history on this guy. I do history on people before I run my mouth. And when I look at the totality of what Bob Arum brings to the table, what Oscar De La Hoya brings to the table, what Eddie Hearn brings to the table. Eddie Hearn is an inherited prick. That's what he is. He's an inherited prick. He inherited a business that his dad gave him. It's a slave trading operation. Let me say it again. It's a slave trading operation. That's what he's inherited. Bob Arum is a old car salesman, aka shiesty motherfucker. I've been saying this for the longest. And then you got Oscar De La Hoya. He doesn't know what he wants to be. One day he doesn't know if he wants to be a coke feed. One day he doesn't know if he wants to cross dress. The other day he doesn't know what he wants to do. That's the thing with him. This man is in rehab. He has all kinds of situations going on. You know what I'm saying? He has mental health issues. Oscar De La Hoya has a litany of stuff going on. Then you have Al Heyman. This man has all of his wits about himself. He's a shrewd businessman. You got to go look at what he's done in the entertainment industry prior to even touching boxing. everything he's touched is either turned to gold or platinum. Let me say it again. Everything he's touched is either turned to gold or platinum. So this is not me being a quote unquote, like people say, LDBC fanboy or quote unquote PBC fanboy. I already told you guys, I'm an independent free agent or independent contractor. I'm nomadic. Do your research on the term nomadic. I'm always giving you guys dictionary terms. A nomadic person is a person that can go anywhere and be around amongst anybody, because that person is not bound or subjugated to anyone. And I appreciate all of these different forms of communities in boxing. I respect the LDBC. I have no issues with them. Shout outs to Barbershop Conversation. Shout outs to Ticket TV and all of these folks. I have no issues with them because it just seems that He Knows His Sport lines up 90+% of what the LDBC is saying. So that tells me they're on the right track. They're on the right thumb in terms of boxing. Now, people have their own quote unquote bias and lies in which they, propagate against the LDBC. That's because they don't understand. That's why I tell people, you got to do your research. Do your research on LDBC, that boxing community, and understand the totality of what they bring to the table before you run your mouth. Because people are going by YouTubers. Remember, these YouTubers are flip-floppers. They don't know nothing. They don't know two sideways out of their ass. And I've been exposing a lot of these YouTubers. They're what we call the anti-YouTuber. Shout outs to Showbiz the Adult, because he's like me. He's an independent free agent, an independent contractor. That's why I respect him. And I look up to him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's setting the tone in that regard. But I'm also the same way. We're not sitting here repping anybody. We're just doing what we do best on our own end. People just want to put me under a hat or umbrella. So be it. I have nothing but respect for the LDBC. I'm not LDBC, but I have nothing but respect for them, because I have people there that I appreciate and I support and I salute to, just like they salute right back to He Knows His Sport. Because I know that a lot of them are doing some good work in the boxing community, in and outside of what people think, because people only just go by opinions. This is why I tell people, this is the problem with a lot of people on this planet. They don't do research. And I'm tying all of this to Shakur Stevenson, because Shakur Stevenson is just like 97% of these fucks on this planet. They don't do research. They go by whatever narrative, false narrative that they want to go by, that tells them, oh, this is the way to think because it lines up with their viewpoint. Well, guess what? That doesn't make you unbiased or biased. That makes you an ant. You know what I'm saying? And Superman doesn't address these ants. So I'm not going to address quote unquote bias or unbiased or whatever the fuck these people's names are. You know what I'm saying? What I am going to do is talk about how people like Shakur Stevenson, because it's 97% of them, go under the impression of what they think something should look like on the surface, but they're not peeling the layers. Shakur Stevenson didn't do this. Just like 97% of these people that, yeah. You know what I'm saying? They go on your channel, yeah. And then they hear something else, yeah. Why you think I call them opera singers? Because they're like the ocean. They don't know which wave to land on. Shakur Stevenson is a young, impressionable guy. So he doesn't know two licks behind his ass. Anybody that age, you don't know shit. You young, dumb, and full of cum. Let me say it again. You young, dumb, and full of cum. You don't know shit. So you need somebody that's going to lead you into the right path. Andre Ward and Jay Prince felt the top rank route was that route. That was a fatal mistake. They should have looked at other opportunities, but they didn't want to for their own selfish reasons. And that's why Shakur Stevenson's in the situation he's in. So Shakur Stevenson, just like the rest of these people that are quote unquote anti, you're going to have to just deal with the fate that you've left in. If you decide to be a one-trick pony, you decide to have a one-trick narrative, just like Shakur Stevenson did, thinking that Floyd Mayweather was this way or PBC was that way or yada, yada, yada. If you lay in your bed, you have to sleep in it. So if I'm Shakur Stevenson, what I need to be paying attention to is October 26th versus Yohet Gonzalez. That's what I need to be paying attention to. And these classic doses and these troglodytes are going to continue to hate and troll, because I done told you, they got insecure and miserable as fuck lives, and they always want to present that insecurity and that miserable life they have and project it on you. It is what it is, man. But remember, if you don't got no haters, you ain't doing nothing right. Let me say it again. If you ain't got no haters, you ain't doing nothing right. So Shakur Stevenson, focus on Yohet Gonzalez October 26th, and higgity fucking hush. This is He Knows His Sport. Checking out.